What are you currently doing in your relationships that you need to either stop doing or do less of? To understand a woman, a man must first understand himself. The problem is we don't communicate these things. This C4 system helps men understand women. It can fix a broken marriage in less than 30 days, and it creates a deep level of connection in relationships. So if you want more intimacy and sex, if you want your partner to desire you again, if you want to get that appreciation and respect back as a man, then you need the system, because without it, everything can blow up in your marriage or relationship. No one talks about this, and it's so damn important. So in today's episode of the Empowered Man podcast, I'm going to break down exactly how the C4 system works and how you can use it to reconnect with your partner or wife. So the first part of the system is clarity. Clarity means knowing. It's a level of awareness and consciousness. If you're on the motorway and your family is in the car, you turn right without checking your blind spot, you can absolutely kill someone. You can kill your entire family if a truck runs over you. That truck was always there. You were always in the car. The difference was you didn't see what was right next to you, and that was called a blind spot. And 50% of marriages end in divorce. Successful guys who make a lot of money and provide for their families get cheated on all the time. And this all comes down to a lack of clarity. It's a lack of not knowing what the warning signs are, the red flags are, not knowing what to do. When you don't know what to do, it can cause your partner to fall out of love with you. It can mean that you don't see eye to eye. You don't understand what she's going through as a housewife or a mother or a wife in general. And she doesn't understand what you're going through as a hardworking family man, going to war in business or providing for your family. I was actually out with some friends last night, and I was talking to a guy, and his wife and him had been together for 16 years. And when we were talking, he told me some really deep stuff. And she said to him something along the lines of, oh, maybe we should start, have an experiment where we go and sleep with other people. You're in one room, I'm in the other room. And his reaction was like, why would you say something like that? We've been together for 16 years. We might as well get divorced. We might as well separate. Now, the interesting thing here is he went straight into defense mode because he's like, why would my wife say something like that? Now, you got to consider this for a second. If your relationships aren't working, like, for example, my partner 7-8 years ago left me. She said, Tony, I don't love you anymore. There isn't like an overnight shift where somebody stops loving you. There isn't like an overnight shift where you disconnect all of a sudden. It happens over a space of time. And during that time, we have a lack of clarity. We have a lack of knowledge of what's going through our partner's head. So if I don't know what my wife actually wants from me, if I don't know if she's feeling loved, appreciated, supported, understood, or respected, if I don't know those things about her, and I make an assumption that because I'm working hard and because I'm making money and putting food on the table, that's going to be enough for my family. If I make that assumption, it could be the case, it could be true, or it could be complete bullshit. So many men feel like their wife or partner doesn't understand them because they work their asses off and they don't get sex, they don't get appreciation, they don't get anything in return. But in reality, we don't actually have clarity on what our wife or partner wants from us. So for men to understand women, it's as simple as just saying, like, what do you want from me as a man? What do you want from your ideal man? It's really hard to hear this because you're probably going to hear something you don't want to hear. Like, you've gotten overweight since we started dating. You're not as fun as you used to be. You just work all the time. We know this shit's happening, just like a blind spot, but we don't want to have those difficult conversations and go, what do you actually want from me? So in the case of the guy that I hung out with last night, whose wife made that comment, she probably doesn't want to go and sleep with other men. She is not getting something from her partner. It's that simple. For a woman to look elsewhere or to think about sleeping with someone else or cheating or not being with the husband, even though the husband's working hard, there is something that she's not getting. And this happens in every relationship. There are things I want from my wife that she doesn't give me. There are things my wife wants from me that I don't give her. When I work too much and don't give her quality time, she wants my time. The problem is we don't communicate these things. So you got to have clarity on what does your wife or partner want from you. That's how you understand them. And on the flip side, you got to understand what does your partner or wife not want from you? What do they not want from you? I know for a fact my wife doesn't want me to act childish. I used to play video games. I used to smoke a lot of weed, I used to drink, and I used to make immature jokes all the time. As I get older and as I grow and as I invest in property and the watch and the business, I know that she doesn't want me to act like a child. Now, every man has a bit of a kid in him. They make immature jokes. So there's things that my wife wants from me, and there's things that my wife doesn't want from me. You gotta have clarity on these things. What's working in your relationship? What's not working in your relationship? What does your partner want from you? As a man, emotionally, mentally, physically, what does she not want from you? And the only way you can figure these things out is by asking, like, what do you want from me? Now, you don't say it like that in a rude way. You just go, like, I was thinking about it recently and I realized that, we've been together for 16 years and like, we're not as connected as we used to be. What do you want from me? Like, what would you like me to do differently? What would you like me to change? What would you like me to stop doing? What would you like me to start doing? When you start breaking these things down, you realize that there's a lot of gaps in the relationship. So that's the first thing you gotta have clarity on. It's like, what does my wife or partner want from me? What do they not want from me? The second thing you wanna have clarity on is, how do they currently see me? Because we have an image of who we think we are as a man, but often it doesn't match up with what our partner sees. So if your partner was to describe you in 3 to 5 words, what language would they use? Happy, positive, leader, role model, provider, king, or lazy, angry, triggered, stressed? Again, these things are painful to find out. The third thing to get clarity on here that's helped me a lot with Rosie is, how can I show her laser focus? We've talked about this in previous podcasts, but love, appreciation, support, understanding, respect. How can I show her more of those things? When I get her flowers, does she get happy, or does she go, I don't really like flowers? When I spend time with her, oh, she likes that. So really just understanding and getting clarity in relationships for a man to understand a woman is, what does she actually want from me? What does she not want from me? How does she see me? And who does she want me to be? If you can create that man, if you can be a leader, a role model, strong, you've got muscles, you're fit, you're healthy, you make good money, that's when you become a high value man. And it's very fucking hard for a woman to be near a high value 1% man who looks great, he smells great, he's fit, he's healthy, he's wealthy, he's calm, he's patient, he's assertive, he's strong, he's a leader. It's very hard for a woman to be around that type of guy and not fucking be head over heels with him. Women are intelligent creatures. They go for things that are valuable. That's why they like nice bags and nice things. So ultimately, it's you got to have clarity. Like, what does your wife or partner want from you? What do they not want from you? It's so fucking important. Second piece of the C4 system is commitment. It's doing the shit that you know you need to do. In relationships, if there is a lack of understanding or there's a lack of connection, if your wife says, I don't love you anymore, I don't want to be with you anymore, if you feel like she doesn't appreciate you, all of these things are examples of a lack of commitment. She's got a lack of commitment to you, but the only way a partner can not understand you or have a lack of commitment to you is if you don't give them commitment back. So once you have clarity on what your partner does want and doesn't want from you, the next step is committing. That means making a decision, a conscious choice to take action and change things. And there's 2 areas that you want to take action on as a modern day man. The first one is, what are you currently doing in your relationships that you need to either stop doing or do less of? We went out with a couple to a wedding a few weeks ago, and we noticed in the relationship, we were talking to these 2 people we just met, a husband and wife, they had a young family, and she was constantly saying things, not intentionally, she wasn't doing it intentionally, she was constantly saying things that were belittling him. It wasn't constantly, it was like 2 or 3 times. But for example, yeah, he's got mad anxiety, or, he's not very confident with himself. Now, as a man, part of being respected is you don't want your wife or your partner to put you down. But you got to think about it for a second. Your wife wouldn't be making those comments, or his wife wouldn't be making those comments that belittle him if he didn't do things that belittled himself. Like, as a man, if you're playing video games or you're smoking or drinking, those are things that your partner may or may not want you to do. There are things right now that your partner wants from you, and one of those things might be, stop making inappropriate jokes. Stop watching TV every night instead of talking to me about your day. Stop when I ask you coming home and saying, how was your day? Going, yeah, it was fine. Open up to me, be vulnerable. So the first part of commitment is, what are you currently doing in your relationships that you need to stop, that you need to do less of? Is it drinking? Is it not communicating? Is it getting triggered and angry after a long day because the house is a mess? Is it blowing up at the kids? Now, I know these things are difficult. We're going to get into, on the next section of the C4 system, how you actually make a commitment long term. But you and I both know that when you're a high performer and when you work hard to provide for your family, it's very stressful. There's a lot of weight on the bar. There's a lot of weight on your shoulders from working hard, making money, putting out fires, dealing with pressure every day at work, coming home to a messy house or chaos in the household. It's very difficult to keep it all together. And this is where most men, they either blow up like a ticking time bomb and take it out on their loved ones, or they don't blow up. Instead of being an asshole to the family, they bottle it up and they put on a mask pretending like it's okay. But because it's bottled up, it's stored within the body, and a lot of guys drink, gamble, watch porn, scroll on social media, smoke drugs. Maybe you don't do any of those things, but I guarantee there are things that you're doing in your life that don't serve you. So what are the things that you get to commit to understand your partner better? What do you get to commit to be better for her or for your kids or for your employees or your staff? What are you currently doing that you need to stop doing or you need to do less of? And on the flip side, what are you currently not doing that you need to start doing more of or start doing full stop? Like at the beginning of a relationship, if you don't understand your partner, if you don't feel loved or understood, that means that they don't feel that either. If they're not giving you what you want, sex, intimacy, connection, there are things you're probably not doing for them. Do you need to start communicating more? Do you need to start getting her flowers again? Do you need to start going on date nights again? Because we get so busy in work or business that we negate or ignore our relationship with our partner or wife. I spend 10 to 12 hours a day on my business. I coach hundreds of men through these podcasts. We have 180 clients that we work with. I put so much time and energy into my business. For the first year of having a daughter, I'd put like an hour a week into my wife. I stopped taking her out on dates. I stopped getting her flowers. I stopped writing her love notes. What do you get to do or start doing that you're not currently doing? There are things you are doing at the moment that you get to commit to stop doing. And there are things you're not doing that you get to commit to start doing. And when you think about it like this game is like clarity. What does my wife want? What does she not want? Commitment. I'm committed to do it no matter what. I'm committed to give her more of this, give her less of this. And it's this game of give and take. Now, this might sound unfair. Why am I doing all of this? Because when you do that, as a leader, your partner gives it back. And she will start to understand you when you start to understand her. But you can't understand your wife or partner if you don't have clarity on what they want and what they don't want. And if you don't fucking commit to doing what they want or don't want. I'm not saying be a little bitch. I don't agree with happy wife, happy life. I think that's bullshit. I think happy couple, happy life. But the way that you get your wife to understand you and the way you understand your wife is by knowing what they want and what they don't want, clarity, and by committing to doing the fucking work, doing something about it. Clarity and commitment. What's going on? What's going wrong? Commitment. What am I going to do about it no matter what? The third piece of the C4 system is consistency. So we have clarity on what our partner wants or doesn't want. Now we understand them better. We do that through communication, which is another C. Then we make a commitment. It's like, cool, I'm going to change these parts of myself. I'm going to communicate differently. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to start doing that. The third piece is being consistent. Look, let's be honest. Anyone can understand a partner or wife for a day. Anyone can stop drinking or stop being an asshole after a long day at work for a day, maybe even a week, maybe even a month. But it's truly the most powerful men on the planet who understand their partner and get that desire and love back, who fix marriages fast, who ultimately have connection. Those are the guys that are consistent. For years, what I would do in my relationship is I would say I was going to change. Yeah, I'm going to stop drinking. I drink too much. Yeah, I get angry and we argue too much. I'm going to stop being rude and arrogant. And I'd do it for a week or a month. But what my wife would constantly see is a man who was a liar, because I would be nice, happy Tony in my relationship for a week or a month, and then something would happen. I'd get really stressed or triggered at work, and I'd start drinking to ease the stress at the end of the night. I would get really stressed or triggered after something happened in the business, and my wife would ask me how I'm doing, and I'd snap back at her, even though she was just asking. When she wanted me to become better and she'd call me out on my shit, I'd defend myself and get triggered at her. You got to understand in relationships, whether you're a boss of team members, whether you're a father, whether you're a husband or partner, what people love to see is consistency. If you're getting value from this content and you want to upgrade yourself, you want to fix your marriage or relationships, you want to find work-life balance, or you want to be successful and winning in life, then SMS the number on the screen right now saying upgrade. SMS upgrade to 0482 097 778. That's +61 482 097 778. SMS upgrade to +61 482
097778. And what we'll do is we'll send you all of our best content on health, wealth, and relationships completely for free. So SMS the number on the screen right now to get on our list, and we'll send you all the stuff you need to win.
We launch this podcast every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Sydney, Australia time. When we stopped launching the podcast, a lot of people stopped attending it at that time slot. They went to another podcast. Consistency is king. So in relationships, if you don't understand your partner, or you don't feel understood, or you're not getting love or affection, it means that you're inconsistent. Like, think about it. If you're consistently showing up as the best version of yourself, you're crushing it in business, you're making loads of money, you've got work-life balance, you look and feel great. You get up at the same time every day. You're in a fucking amazing routine. You look fucking great. You got muscles. You got a flat stomach. You're healthy. You're full of energy. You come home after a long day, and no matter how stressed your wife or partner is, you're there to ease her load, ease her strain. You're constantly smiling and positive. If you're that guy 99% of the time, then what you do is you create certainty within your partner. They're like, I believe it. I believe this guy is the man. What most guys do, and I have this for years, so many of our clients do as well, is we are that guy sometimes, but other times we're like the shadow version of ourselves. It's like there's two versions of you. There's this version that's like positive, happy, empowered, leader, crushing it. And there's this inconsistent, unhappy, unhealthy, triggered, stressed guy. So if you think about it, if there's two versions of you, and I know there's two versions of our partner and our kids as well, there's many versions. But if you're this guy one time, this guy another, then that person you're with, they don't really understand who they're going to get. Like after a long day, if something happens, they go, am I going to get the good guy or the bad guy? And that creates a lot of uncertainty in relationships. If you can be consistent, you win. So the question to ask yourself here, if you want to understand your partner better or vice versa, is what stops you from staying consistent? Like, what stops you from being that guy that everyone can rely on, that your partner can rely on? What stops you from staying consistent in your health, your wealth, and your relationships? They're all connected. Is it something happens at work and that stresses you out? Is it you get a lot of pressure on your shoulders, so you sedate? Is it that you get triggered and angry about things? If you can identify the barriers that stop you from being consistent, you can then begin to remove them, which again is clarity. Think about it. I'm getting clarity. What stops me from staying consistent? What stops me from being the best man I can be for my family? Question one, clarity. I'm committed to fucking changing it no matter what. I'm going to stay consistent. Number three, clarity. What stops me from being consistent? And it's the despite that matters here. Despite a stressful day, I'm going to be committed and give my partner what she needs. Despite how stressed I get or how much weight I have on my shoulders, I'm still going to stop doing the shit that takes my power away. I'm going to do more of the shit that makes me a better man. As a fucking man, consistency is key. And it starts from the beginning of the day. I'm on day 62 right now of waking up at 4:45 a.m. I don't want to fucking get out of bed every day, but every day I get up, no matter how cold it is, 2 degrees outside, go for my walk, do my breathwork exercises, journal my thoughts and feelings, plan my day. If you can create consistency and order before you face the chaos of the day, you're going to create consistency in who you show up as. And that's how you become the man your loved ones deserve, is you're consistent as fuck in health, wealth, and relationships. So the third C is consistency. Clarity. What does my partner want and not want? Commitment. Number 2, I'm going to fucking become that guy. I'm going to stop doing this shit. I'm going to start doing this shit. 3, consistency. No matter what, despite what else goes on, I'm going to show up as this guy. What stops me from being consistent? Let's fucking destroy it. Let's be consistent for them because they deserve the best me. And the fourth part of the C4 system is control. When you think about this word control, a lot of men chase it. If you're a business owner or high performer, often we are perfectionists and control freaks. We struggle, at least I have in the past, to surrender control. This is why hiring and delegating is so difficult, because we have to hand over responsibility, and the story is no one can do it as well as me. But control ultimately comes down to 4 things here. To understand your partner, to understand a woman, a man must first understand himself. And as a man, there are 4 key areas you must be in control of. They are your thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions. Let me break each of those things down. As men, or as humans, we have up to 80,000 thoughts per day. Have you ever had a thought like, fuck, this isn't gonna work? I can't do it. This is too hard. I don't have the energy. No one's leaving me alone. No, just give me some space. All these things happen in your head, and you have positive thoughts and negative thoughts. Now, for most of my life, I would default go to negative thoughts. My wife would talk to another guy, jealousy, right? Oh, what is that all about? My partner would get upset at me because I'm working too much. She doesn't understand. This is bullshit. This is all going on inside of your head. You have thoughts, and most of these thoughts are unconscious. These thoughts happen without thinking. We have thoughts and stories about our wife or our partner, about women, about our children, about our team members. They happen like driving a car. If you drive a car and you look up from the dash, you go, fuck, I haven't looked at the road in a while. It's because it's unconscious. You don't have to think about it. When you first learn how to drive a car, you have to think about everything. The wing mirrors, the fucking gear stick, if you drive a manual, the sides, like the spatial awareness. But you get to a point after a while where it becomes unconscious. It's default. It's like wiping your ass or drying yourself with a towel. So we've got to take these unconscious thoughts and make them conscious. We have to understand, what are the thoughts that go on in my head? Then there's our feelings. A lot of men feel like the woman doesn't understand, and we feel like she gets angry and she gets triggered, and we get angry and we get triggered, and we get into arguments or disagreements or whatever. It's because of the feelings. If we feel, the language is feel like our wife doesn't understand, we feel stressed, we feel unappreciated, we feel unloved, we feel disrespected, then we get into our own feelings. And again, this happens without thinking. So we have these negative thoughts and these negative feelings combined with reactions and actions. So it's a long, stressful day at work. The thought is, I don't have enough time. You feel all the stress. You come home, you crack open a beer, or you yell at your family. Those are actions and reactions. All of those things come down to control. So the question here is, if you want to understand your partner or a woman better, if you want to have more of a connection in your relationships, you've got to first understand yourself. What are the thoughts that go through my head every day and every week? What are the positive thoughts? What are the negative thoughts? What are the feelings that I feel each and every day? Do I have positive feelings or negative feelings? Am I happy? Am I excited? Am I full of fucking energy? Or am I feeling depressed? Am I feeling anxious? Am I feeling overwhelmed? I know that in my first 30 years of life, I had severe anxiety and depression. I was constantly up and down like a yo-yo. I wasn't consistent, and I was constantly losing control of my thoughts and my feelings. So then my partner would have to absorb that. She'd have to see me as this negative, unhappy guy, but then sometimes I was this happy, fucking crushing it at business owner guy. And because I was so negative, my actions and reactions towards her were so sporadic. One of the first things we teach our empowered man clients, and some of these guys make $100 million a year, some of them, make 100 grand a year. It doesn't matter the income. They're all successful in their own degree. One of the first things we teach our clients is every morning write down, what am I thinking about today? How am I feeling today? And what's my hit list? What are my highly important tasks for today? That makes 3 things conscious: your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And if you can bring awareness to your thoughts, feelings, and actions every morning, you're much more prepared to be in control of them later on in the day. So if you want to have connection with your wife or partner, if you want to understand them better, you've got to be in control of yourself. You want to have positive and empowering thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions. You come home, you see the house being a mess, negative thought, she doesn't care. You feel angry, you feel frustrated, you yell, you act and react. That's negative. On the flip side, you've had a long, stressful day. It's been fucking hard. You want to come home and be loved by your wife and appreciated. You want her to want to be intimate with you. So no matter how stressful the day was, you've got clarity on what you don't want to do. You're committed to fucking changing, and you're consistent. And you go, I'm a man who's in control. You walk through that door. You take a deep breath. The negative thought comes in. The house is a mess. You kill that thought by choosing a positive thought. Control is choice. She must have had a stressful fucking day. You feel this anger bubbling up. You swallow it down with the breath. Even though I initially feel angry, I'm going to support my wife. I feel like a supporter today. And the action you take is you go, how was your day? You okay? See how it's a fucking conscious choice? It's all about being in control as a modern day man. So once you have clarity on what to do, what your wife doesn't want or wants from you, you make a commitment to change that shit no matter what. You become consistent by identifying the things that stop you from staying consistent, and you choose conscious choice to be in control of your thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions. That's when you have a deep level of connection with your wife or partner, because you have a deep level of connection with yourself. And that's the most powerful man on the planet. That's a leader. That's a modern day king, a man who is in control of himself, a man who lives with power and purpose, because life is chaos, but he controls the chaos by being in control of himself. So that's the C4 system in a nutshell: clarity, commitment, consistency, and control. When you operate from this frame, when you have these 4 levels of C, you're able to have connection. And that's when you understand your wife or partner, and she also understands, appreciates, and respects you. This is how you get the love, the intimacy that you truly deserve as a high performing man. And that's the key here, is it starts with you. You got to be a high fucking performance man. And it's hard to do that when you have to juggle being a father, a husband, a business owner, or a provider. That's exactly why the Empowered Man exists. We've helped over 800 men fix their marriages, reconnect with their children, and find work-life balance. What does that mean? It means winning as a husband, father, and man. It means being in control and having the health, wealth, and relationships you deserve. So if that's something you want, then down below, there'll be a link where you can book a coaching session with our Empowered Man team. And on that session, we will create a custom roadmap for you on how to have everything I just said, because it's a lot easier with support. It's a lot easier with coaching. Something that fascinates me is every successful movie star, sports star, they all have coaches. But as men, we feel like we don't need that. We don't need that support. It's so important to have that. So if you want more than what you just got, go down below, book a coaching session with our team. And if you got value from this, drop a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube, or 5 stars on podcast platforms. And feel free to reach out through our social channels and send me a message or drop a comment letting me know what you'd like support with. Hope you got value from this. I'll see you for the next episode of the Empowered Man podcast.
If you're getting value from this content and you want to upgrade yourself, you want to fix your marriage or relationships, you want to find work-life balance, or you want to be successful and winning in life, then SMS the number on the screen right now saying upgrade. SMS upgrade to 0482 097 778. That's +61 482 097 778. SMS upgrade to +61 482 097 778. And what we'll do is we'll send you all of our best content on health, wealth, and relationships completely for free. So SMS the number on the screen right now to get on our list, and we'll send you all the stuff you need to win.